was the one, MVL and Duda were the standout
They
players.
played a very dramatic play of
Games have begun.
And they
Trump all day, every day. Well, all day today.
All day today.
Not all day, every day, but all day today.
Okay, I'm just going to, as we were saying, with a draw, Vladimir clinches first place.
But we're sure he's not playing for a draw.
He's not playing for
I
a
don't
draw.
think he is. Yeah, I think he is going for it.
This particular, I wanted to say, this particular where setup where you haven't played knight f6, I can play for c2, c3, playing a kind of a reverse Caro-Kann, and preparing to meet the move queen b6 with my
I wonder if he's
queen
intending
b3.
to play f6 though. Sometimes they play f6 in these lines. f6, knight h6 is...
Such an ugly looking move, but I've seen it, yes. It's somewhat popular.
f6, bishop h4, knight h6 is definitely not unplayable in some of these positions. I'm not sure about this one specifically, but in some of them for certain.
It's funny how Engine already likes this for black so much. You can see the eval bar,
the evaluation bar on my screen. Takes, bishop f5, again, very, very Caro-Kann-like.
I was wondering if he's going to do something like this, because he had that game against Prague yesterday, Gavrilescu did, which he completely outplayed Prague out of the opening with this idea of f6, g5, h5, and so on. And I thought, you know, now that the bishop is on g5, and you can even gain a tempo doing exactly the same thing, it might be very attractive to him. Although I don't quite see where queen c7 fits into that picture, because you're kind of...
He's really playing in Caro-Kann style.
But yeah, that just looks peculiar, right?
Yeah.
Because you're going to be playing bishop
I guess you're
g3.
just unpinning your e-pawn to play e6, to be
Right.
honest. I think
Simple
maybe
as that.
that's just it.
He didn't want to play
Knight
knight
f6.
f6 and allow bishop f6, I'm guessing.
Bishop b5, that's a surprise move.
Maybe c4 now? That would be
Before-
one way to try to explain
Before
it.
castling?
Well, trying to, you know, scare black into some indiscretions, but yeah, it shouldn't be great. I'm just wondering why we played bishop b5 and not bishop b2.
Agreed.
He castles, we'll probably see knight e7 and then maybe c4?
I mean, normal play is rook e1, bishop g3, and play for the control of the e5 square, but...
Yeah, very solid position, but black has no problems at all.
No.
And we're on move 11, so it's still very early in the game. If players could offer draws, I think we could see that happen here, but there's no draw offers allowed. They can only draw by making 3-move repetition or going king versus king.
Exactly. As Peter described it, bishop to g3, fighting for the e5 square. This knight on d2 also doesn't make the greatest impressions. Sometimes you
allows
do...
knight g6, knight f4, though, right?
Sorry?
The move he just made
Queen
allows
e-
knight g6, knight f4. So we're actually not succeeding in getting the dark square bishops off the board. I'm not sure I love that.
Knight g6, bishop g3, knight f4. I'm not forced to trade it, but you're right. I'm not getting the dark square bishops off the board either.
I think I would probably trade and maybe play g3 and then knight e5. We're not guessing the moves.
No.
Not one bit. Not one bit. We're not even close. I thought that the move queen e2 was a prelude to playing the move bishop d3, and yet Vladimir hesitated as well. Knight f4. I'm going after this dark square bishop, and yes, I would take it on g3, and yes, I would play b5 in a minority attack. Not guessing the moves.
Not guessing the moves, no.
I think knight's still going to f4. Okay.
You were so close on this one, Nancy. I really.
This
knight's
confuses me a great deal.
Knight's going to f4. Continue your thought there. This one I understand. This one I can kind of go knight to b3, a5, knight to c5.
Black's going to play e5, right?
I think Gavrilescu is signaling quite heavily that he's preparing to go e6, e5, and he should, because a5, knight c5, if you allow that kind of a grip on the queen side, you will
regret.
Yeah, at least slightly worse, and maybe even not
Here we
slightly.
go.
Yep.
Just as finally we caught one. e5.
All right, so after d takes e, knight
Swaps them up.
takes.
Knight takes. We'll put our queen, I presume, on c2, so that we keep the d4 square open for
But
our
if
knight.
black goes queen c4, not threatening anything, it's just an active square for my queen.
I'll put my knight on d4 and say, great, you've got a good knight, I've got a good knight. Everybody's happy.
Yeah, this position is very equal.
And this seems very healthy. Do we play queen e2?
E2.
That's annoying.
Rook e7, I think, solves most of the issues, whatever, you know.
Okay,
Such
I'll
as
go
they
back to d4.
Yeah.
You'll go back to c6, but
Queen c4 is another option here. Queen c4 trying to solve that problem of
the pin.
along the e file immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, and then maybe the endgame is tiny bit preferable for black.
Well,
No?
he's done it. Queen c4. I'm looking at knight a5.
Oh, that's a good inclusion. But there is some tactics maybe? Queen e2, knight f3, have king f1.
Yeah, I think knight d4 is healthy, but even here, take on e2 and knight c6. I think good French players would expect a draw for around about that time. For people who aren't as good of a French player, it still remains to be seen how equal it is. But like if you play this against, I don't know, Yusupov or Dalmatov or Korchnoi or somebody from that school.
By the way, queen c4, and suddenly I'm kind of happy about white's position. I agree, the rook on e8 is defended, but it's not that I'm afraid of either knight c4 or knight c6.
Yeah, white seems to have a lot of easy moves coming, and black still has some small problems to solve.
Exactly.
What would you play here?
I was thinking about queen h5.
Yeah, me too.
The idea being, on a good day, I can play knight f5 and start to intimate knight e7, queen to g4. With my knight on f5, I might checkmate you.
It's
By
not
the way,
hard to blunder.
it's easy to blunder. This was the question. You could play knight d3. I wanted to... He didn't play rook e8 and queen d5. I thought those were the... I thought he had been...
Rook e2 is not a good move. You're right, yesterday rook e8 was much better.
He
Rook
was
e2 got a question mark.
that he was calculating this, but
Wait,
he
knight
didn't.
b2 is hanging, because then there's queen c3 coming. That's a pawn blunder?
Let's go. Knight takes b2. That's a genuine whole pawn, Peter.
An important one at that, but he did not find it. He played rook e4.
Rook e4 is a solid positional move, but knight takes b2 was a very solid tactical move.
Yes.
And those often are stronger.
Yes. That was, and rook to d1,
Yeah,
knight
that tactic
drops.
will not get reintroduced.
Okay, let me just refresh my board. Rook to d1. The knight got chased away. Knight went back to c5. By the way, give me the pawn. You can't have it. a5.
Yeah, let's play queen c7 for now, I guess. And it's not hanging yet, but it might hang in the future.
Well, we've got some weird things.
That rook on e4 is quite annoying.
True. True. I don't really want to take it and allow d5 takes e4.
Full extra minute on the clock, though,
Well,
very importantly.
Wait a minute. Rook e4, d4, knight f5.
Yeah.
I'm starting to...
I'm also very drawn to this, I agree.
Knight
But
f5, queen
maybe we
g4.
don't take, but we have to take with the pawn.
And
He's done
going
it.
for it.
He's done it.
He sees the opportunity with knight f5.
Boy, Vladimir, he's so alert.
Yeah.
He, you know, he's
Well,
when he
You
when
don't get
he
23
gets
points without being super alert.
yeah, when he gets his tactical opportunities, it seems like okay, David clearly missed knight b2, but Vladimir's looking at knight f5 and he's saying, "I've got a shout."
And there is only one good move in this position, and I don't think it will be played.
Uh-oh, don't tell me some crazy...
You have to play g6.
Be serious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, you are in tremendous amounts of trouble.
I mean, you can't bring yourself to play g6, Nasi, because the knight on f5 is going to munch that pawn.
With a check.
With a check. You
It's
don't just
very difficult to
voluntarily...
play. But if you calculate after knight h6, king g7, both queen and knight are under attack. And there's not a lot of room for queen to keep protecting the knight. You play queen g5, I can play f6. And then there's maybe rook h8 coming, and your knight might get trapped on h6. And he's played it.
Wow.
Well done
So
to
good.
Gavrilescu. Yeah, this
Wow.
was necessary.
Only
and now the
moves.
position is not that clear at all. Again, you play f6, and then maybe you plant your knight on d3. He's done it immediately. Allowing knight g4 is...
Not
I
a
would
good
have tried
idea.
not allowing knight g4, but he has queen f5 there. He actually is still kind of healthy.
Well, queen f5.
Queen e6 is...
I
no,
trade a knight e3. It's a pawn.
And David is down to 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
While Vladimir is enjoying his 2 minutes on the clock.
That's usually a decisive factor. That's too great a disparity in the clock times. Queenie, objectively speaking, though, Peter.
There is no mate, but we are up a pawn. We can play something like b2, b4 here. I can see.
Let's not forget he also only needs a draw to win this event, so he could go queen h6 check, come back queen g5 and repeat.
No.
Not his style.
Not his style.
But he could.
Yeah, he absolutely could, but he is going to go for it.
This is a blunder.
E3 wins for black.
What?
See, this is, wow, everything can... But he's not playing it. He played rook h8.
Yeah, and now
F3 win. Why was there a winning?
E3 too. Yeah, E3 just kind of wins a lot of material.
Now he's winning with queen f6 check.
King g8 and something
Knight
simple.
f2.
Knight f2 is winning.
Knight f2 is very beautiful.
If he spots this, and I think
Queen
he will.
f6. Will he? Oh, there's queen d8 check and queen takes d3 also.
Yeah, there are
choices.
Options available, but
F2
Knight
is
f2
beautiful.
followed by queen d8 wins a full piece.
He might do one check. Oh, he's taking
No, he just
queen
goes
d3.
for queen takes d3. This rook ending after queen d4 check is very, very pleasing.
Zero risk, of course, extra pawn.
Yeah. He was winning on the spot though.
What a risk he took with that f3 move, though.
Wow. Well, I think he just he may have missed, simply missed how
C4,
powerful
C5.
E3 is.
I would have played c4, c5 there, but what he is doing is also,
Oh, black is so passive here, and white has an active rook, extra pawn.
more time on the clock as well.
Yes. A lot more, because David's down to 5 seconds.
Yeah, he should convert from here. I think it's probably
King
just
d4,
winning now.
easy,
King
easy,
d4, King
easy
c5.
conversion now.
Yeah, you're just so far ahead with your play.
And just to update the viewers, Maxim Vashelogrov has won his game.
Yeah, time to play c4, I think.
Setting up a huge game for the next round. So he'll play Levon Aronian.
Levon is losing also.
Ooh.
Yeah, things are heating up for that second place race, but we're watching Vladimir win.
Nice little trick there by
Rook takes b7.
Gavrilescu,
No. King c6, discover check. Very good move, b4, b5, not falling for the trick.
Now
But
now we take, we play, I guess, rook b6
b6,
check
yeah.
and then king c5. Still king c5, I guess. We don't need to change our plan here.
no, king.
Or that.
Whoa.
King c5. He just needs to.
He's
play
worried
down.
about rook a4, but I'm pretty sure it's still winning because we have mating threats on the other side of the board.
I agree.
But
King
he has
c5.
time. He has 45 seconds. He can think for a little bit.
Is this an easy conversion?
Maybe not for me, but for him it should be. Rook takes f6.
I think rook a4 check is maybe stronger. I know you take on b5, but then rook a. No,
What?
Rook a2 cannot be the move.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an easy.
And now we go king
back.
e3.
No,
still winning.
that was a very strange
King
sequence.
e3, king f3 was winning the g5 pawn.
Right?
That was simpler.
Rook f2. So here we see our tournament leader. All he needs is a draw, and it's from a position of strength. A draw wins the event.
This is no longer a simple conversion, but considering he only needs a draw, he can enjoy it at his leisure.
And he's definitely playing for a win.
Oh, of course he is.
With the extra pawn, for sure.
Would be.
Rook to e5?
Rook e6 check, rook e5 check.
Or rook e5 immediately, no?
Yeah, or even that. Yeah, actually go for it. And then king f5, and you cannot play 5 because rook, I think the pawn ending is lost.
That is, and he's allowed the pawn ending, rook e5.
Isn't this winning? It's
easily.
very easily winning, right?
Yes, and that does it. That's a winning king and pawn
And that's
ending.
the title in a very emphatic fashion there for Vladimir Fedoseev.
Well done, just simply well done.
We're going to see king h7, last move.
Even g4, g5.
G4?
You no longer need to think about
G5.
moves, yeah. There you have it.
Well done.
Huge congratulations to Vladimir Fedoseev, winning the event with 3 rounds to spare.
5 out of 6. He just picked up where he left off, Peter.
He's still on course for 27, by the way. If he wins the last 3, he's still on course for 27.
Well, we were lauding his 8 out of 9. He may get it again. He gave up a loss, but the man of the moment.
And there he is congratulated by the chief arbiter, Chris Bird,
Yeah.
who of course knows that this concludes the proceedings.
Well, his interview, he said, I don't want to give myself an opportunity of blowing it. He did it early.
Yes, he did. He wins the Superbet Rapid and Blitz and takes home $40,000.
Our congratulations. He totally destroyed our AI stat.
And must
Yes.
have gained incredible amount of rating points
You're right.
in both Rapid and Blitz.
Right. It was a tale of two players.